So thank you, Chandra sir, for giving this opportunity. It's great to be here with all the participants and all the leadership of Seceon. Um, just a quick correction in Chandra sir's introduction about me. It's not 27 years, but I crossed 3 decades. So it's like 30 plus years now in the IT industry. Started my career way back in 1995, seen the days of MS-DOS. My first IT project was migration from MS-DOS to Windows 3.1. Seen the days of 3.5 inch floppy disks and 5.25 inch floppy disks and all of that. Also, from a cybersecurity perspective, Symantec, McAfee, when there were signature-based telemetry rather than today's AI-based telemetry. So, been there, done that, and I have a unique perspective in terms of the IT industry, the IT landscape, as well as cybersecurity. For the first 20 years of my career, I have been on the other side of the table, being a CIO or a CISO for large or mid-sized organizations. I was the first head of IT for Google when they entered India. I was also the head of IT and CISO for acting CISO for entity data for almost a decade. And then I was also the CIO for Navigant based out of India. And also, I've been part of certain, startups and mid-sized organizations as well. I've been partnering with Seceon for the last 6, 7 years now as MSSPs on behalf of two of my last organizations, and now I've moved out and, as Chandra sir was mentioning, setting up the process of next gen SOC, being a MSSP partner of Seceon. Uh, all of you, the participants, you must have seen presentations and training sessions in terms of what is Seceon as a platform, how you operate, and all of that. So my presentation or my topic is slightly different than those. So I'm sure the Seceon team is covering great in terms of the technical side of the platform. What I'd like to talk about is more of how the future of SOC looks like in today's 2025, 2026, and how AI and Seceon is kind of redefining 24/7 threat landscape. So that's the topic. Let's start with cybersecurity challenge in 2025. I hope all of you are able to see my screen. If one of you can confirm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, if you look at the challenges of 2025 or today's date of cybersecurity, there is no more the so-called perimeter, right? Everybody is working from everywhere, from the airport, from the lounge. There is no perimeter as such. Then, look at the massive attack surface that we have to deal with. Everywhere it's cloud, hybrid, SaaS, remote workforce. Therefore, the volume of data is exploding. Number of devices, number of identities is exploding. Alert fatigue is a real thing right now. If you are drowning your analysts in noise, then the actual attack alerts pass through without notice. Then, of course, as per the 2021 very famous Gartner article, there were more than 3 million people shortfall, trained certified people shortfall in cybersecurity. And that gap has widened further in the last 4 years. And then finally, just as we are trying to defend our infrastructure and our customers using AI, so are the threat actors using AI, utilizing deepfakes and LLM-based malwares and all of that stuff. So this is what we see. Traditional SIM basically are no more able to keep up with today's landscape, and that is where we come to what we call, the autonomous SOC that I'll be talking about in just a bit. 90% of today's traditional SIMs produce false positives. The traditional SIMs work on human-centric or human-led, but what we really need is AI-led or AI-centric or AI-driven, SIM solution and SOC operations, and that is where this evolution that I'd like to talk about. Um, in a traditional SOC, what happens is it's always reactive. You get an alert, you look at it. There is no correlation because all your tools are running in silos, whether it's SIEM or SOAR or EDR, everything creating different levels of alerts. They don't talk to each other. They conflict with each other. Therefore, your MTTD, MTTR is like in days or weeks. And then the cost, as you scale up, your customers scale up, your cost directly scales up because the main cost of running a SOC is headcount, not really the tools. Whereas in autonomous SOC, which is AI driven, it's more of proactive because AI models are good at machine learning. AI models are good at detecting patterns. It's not just signature based. And then AI models are also good in detecting anomalies of behavior, in which we talk about user behavior analytics, and entity behavior analytics. And then a platform like Seceon is a converged platform. You get a single pane of glass across your IT landscape. I have a real world case study later part of the presentation where we had a actual attack for one of our customers in the US, and how Seceon helped us to quickly eliminate the attack, stop the attack midway within a few minutes. So I'll talk about it. And then we talk about quicker, MTTR, MTTR, and MTTD. And then basically the cost is no more directly related with headcount. It is related with data. And then it is related with number of devices that you ingest the logs into a tool like Seceon. So that is what kind of the autonomous SOC life cycle. If we can divide it into a 5-step life cycle, it starts with data collection, full visibility across log sources, users, endpoints, devices, cloud, SaaS, API integration. Then the multi-engine correlation, the machine learning happens, the real-time scoring, the threat modeling, predictive analysis. You have in a proper SIEM like Seceon, you have a storyboarding ability. You can convert thousands of alerts or events into one single storyline. You can create a storyline about how somebody has entered, how somebody has moved laterally, what impact it has tried to cause, and how you can contain. And then it has a automation facility where you can instantly automatically disable users or isolate endpoints. You can block traffic, or you can send out notifications to your customers. And then you have the final piece in the loop, which is human analysts. But here human analysts are not doing L1, L2, and sifting through thousands of alerts. They are actually doing L3 level and above job, which is to verify, fine tune, and then escalate, right? So the human is more at a strategic level rather than dealing with L1, L2, and the alert, 10 thousands of alerts. So if we look at Seceon, what I have seen, and I have believed, and I have kind of presented to my customers, is basically the entire IT industry, the cybersecurity industry in particular, is shifting from AI assisted to AI driven. It's not about having a better, same, or a more shiny tool. It's really about autonomous operating model of the whole security, as a whole solution, right? And we'll talk more about it in the next couple of slides. So the three pillars, if I can put it that way, it's AI-driven detection, user behavior analytics. That's the baseline that the tool does over the first 8 days of operating Seceon or connecting Seceon to a customer environment. And then the dynamic threat modeling, the 3 layers of machine learning that undergoes in the tool. And Seceon, by the way, let me put a disclaimer here that Seceon as a tool also is rapidly evolving. So whatever I am saying may have gone certain changes. So I take that, I'd like to put that disclaimer as well, that there may be more added features as I speak. And then the final piece is autonomous, response. Once you have a trigger, you can actually automatically disable a host, isolate a user, do all of that, send out a notification. So these are the three main pillars of modern AI based SIM tool, if I may call so. So basically, if we move from the old to the new, collecting data, going through the 10,000 plus alerts, and then forcing L1 and L2 to find that quote unquote needle. Instead of that, you have this AI engine sitting on top of the data and performing real-time correlation, and then giving out high fidelity, actionable inputs to the L3 guy sitting there and looking at the single pane of glass across your customer landscape. So that's what or that's how Seceon as a SIM tool is redefining detection, and we have seen this multiple times with our customers and our internal operations, IT operations, and cybersecurity operations as well. Going a little bit more deeper into how you can operate Seceon or redefine your 24/7 SOC operations. So it's a mix of OpenXDR, AI, and SOC automation within a single platform. What I love to call Seceon, when I talk about it to my prospective customers, I love to call Seceon same as a SOC in a box, quote unquote. And that's what I mean by the whole integration into a single platform. The whole cybersecurity world, all the product companies majorly are now moving into a mode of platformization. Some people are buying smaller companies and then trying to kind of fix things together as a storyline. But Seceon, as I have seen them, is a platform ground up, built as a platform, as a tool. And that's the advantage, that they integrate everything together. And that's where the concept of SOC in a box or a SIEM in a box comes in. Machine learning, threat intel, heuristics, user analytics, entity analytics are again built in inside the tool. Correlation, you can get clear storyboards that what happened, when it happened, how lateral movement happened, where it is now, how what action to be taken. That entire storyboard is there for the analyst to look at. And then the tool is able to make reduce false positives, because the tool works in the awareness of the context or the intent of the attack, right? If somebody is trying to genuinely reset a password versus an attacker trying to crack a password. So that's the intent, or that's the context. And then the last line, enabling MSSPs to scale without hiring 20 plus analysts is not just a generic statement, but that is something that I have believed in. In my past two organizations over the course of last 6 years, I have delivered SOC as a service to multiple customers by hiring less than 14 to 15 people. And this is 24/7 operations. So I have done it using Seceon as a platform to multiple customers. And really, that's the crux of reducing headcount, and how AI-aware next-gen SIEM can help a modern SOC to run without over-dependence on headcounts, or without, with automation of the low-hanging fruits, and really have L3 guys looking at the alerts that matter. So real-world impact, less than 95% plus false positives reduced, less than 5 minutes MTTD. These are some things that I define as part of my SLA with my customers. And overall, what we have seen is a 65% total, lower cost of ownership using Seceon as a tool. If I talk about MSSPs, the impact, so it helps, and it has helped me in my past to, kind of scale to more number of customers without majorly scaling infra or headcount. Reduce tier 1, tier 2 workload, directly have tier 3 look at the alerts that matter, improvised SLAs and response times, and also reduction of operation cost. Whereas for enterprises, they get the advantage of a faster MTTD, MTTR, because that matters in terms of reducing their exposure if there is a breach. And also real-time compliance visibility. Seceon gives the feature of a single-click reporting for compliance purposes. And once you have the entire IT landscape plugged into a tool like Seceon, you get the complete overview picture with just a single click. And then predictive threat prevention, that the entire AI and machine learning that runs behind the tool. I'd like to give these two examples. Both I could win with the help of Seceon team, as well as with the help of the features that the tool provides. This is example number one. It's a fintech company based out of US. Their need was to have a 24/7 SOC monitoring within 30 days for PCI DSS compliance and audit, because their end customers were demanding PCI DSS audit, being a fintech company. So we did, we brought in Seceon, my account manager and the Seceon team. Scoping was done in 2 days. Order was signed in 2 days, multiple back and forth in terms of pricing, in terms of, added discounts, which the customer, kind of wanted. And then Seceon, we created the cloud instance, the connectors were deployed. The first, so the customer demand was we needed to roll out within the 30 days and then we get paid, otherwise no payment, like the customer was not interested. And we submitted the first report on the 28th day. And this could only happen because of the nimbleness, the flexibility that Seceon team has. Right? We help the customer clear the PCI DSS audit in the first attempt. And that could happen because of the availability of on-demand Seceon team to handle us. Initially, Seceon team sat with my team to deploy the connectors, and then we took it over from there. Audit-ready compliance reporting. I was talking about the single-click, compliance reports, which were very, very handy, and the PCI DSS auditors were extremely, happy to see those reports. And then the biggest part of working with Seceon is the direct access to Seceon leadership. Chandra, Smith, Tom, and the whole team there, the whole leadership. Though the entire Seceon team for me has always been extremely responsive. I have never had to reach out Chandra directly, even though I have his phone number on my mobile. It has never happened that I had to reach out to him for any escalation. But then having the access to the leadership also has that, it gives you that kind of confidence and go stand in front of a customer. I have actually had Chandra come and make presentation along with me with in front of my customer. So that's the whole advantage of having working with the Seceon team. The other example that I wanted to give is about a non-profit organization that is also based out of USA. There was a new chief operating officer who joined the organization, and the CFO was leaving the next week. And in that melee of handover takeover, it could have resulted in a potential ACH fraud. What happened was uh, the customer said they were doing everything right. Obviously, customer is always correct. But then later on, we figured out when we did our incident analysis, we figured out customer, both the sides, the CEO and the CFO, were using their personal laptops, and which was not kind of monitored, or they didn't probably have even a proper good antivirus tool. And their business email got compromised, their teams, official teams got compromised, and then from the CFO's account, a message went from the CEO's account, a message went to the CFO for initiating the transfer of something around $24,600 to a fraudulent bank account. And because we were monitoring Seceon, the official email IDs and the teams and the official landscape, so Seceon picked up the alerts and triggered it to our analysts. We could reach out to the customer before they even knew what happened. And then we proactively spoke to the CFO, and the even though the ACH instruction was already given to the bank, but then she could call the bank and stop it. So it's a real time, and this obviously because of a confidentiality agreement, I cannot take names, but this happened in the last 6 months. This proves the advanced telemetry that Seceon has in terms of detecting any anomaly within seconds of the initial compromise, and then it gives you that ability to go and figure out how to stop and how to inform the customer. So this is again, and also a very big thing in this particular incident report was the attacker was part of a nation state attack, which FBI was already tracking. So as soon as the bank, was given instruction to make the ACH payment, FBI agent came and started talking to us. Having a tool like Seceon pulling out those logs, we were able to submit an incident report to the FBI agent within 1 day. And the biggest pat on the back on this was the FBI agent must be receiving like thousands of such incident reports every week. But he came back and told us that the report was very thorough, and he was very happy with the output of the report. So that's that. This is my last slide. So if I have to talk about future of cybersecurity, it's nothing but predictive, proactive cyber defense. So just like You hear stories about LLMs creating malware. Similarly, sorry, you have AI models forecasting attack patterns, autonomous remediation with minimal human touch. Then you have the identity risk scoring, then preventive posture management, integration of SecOps, DevOps, and cloud native ecosystems. Sorry. And then
Drink
ability
some
to,
water, take some water, yeah.
sorry. And then the ability to, more and more as days go by, the regulatory and compliance frameworks get stricter and stricter. So you need to have a SOC operations which can keep up to those requirements as well. So that's from me a very quick presentation about autonomous SOC and how we are doing it with Seceon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll open to questions if anything.
Yeah, thank you, Ayon sir. Thank you so much.